PyanGo provides advanced accounting solutions for nonprofit organizations. Our solutions are built on top of the NetSuite Suite Cloud development platform, which means that they are 100% integrated with the world-class NetSuite ERP applications. PyanGo and NetSuite offer solutions to cover revenue and expense processing for nonprofits. This includes grants management and accounting for revenues, budgetary control, which includes encumbrances for expense management, and fund accounting for reporting compliance. Whether you are applying for government or foundation-sponsored grants or need to manage donor-related grants, PyanGo's grant award process will meet your needs. The Suite Donor product is provided free of charge for qualified netsuite.org members. This product is delivered as a bundle that you install into your account. It provides full NetSuite CRM capability to manage donors throughout the donation lifecycle. During this demo, we will cover the integration between PyanGo and the bundle. In order to access it, go into Fundraising and then click on Grant Opportunities under the Opportunities for Grants tab. Once opened, click on the desired link. In this scenario, we will use the Donation for Ocean Research, which is sponsored by Steve Davis. Then click on Status to close the donation by clicking on Closed One. This indicates that we have closed the donation and it will automatically populate. By scrolling down, click Save, and the data will automatically be transferred to the Grant Award functionality in PyanGo. If you would like more information on Suite Donor, please contact your NetSuite representative. Using the previous example of an opportunity that has been closed, I will explain where to locate it when it has been converted into a PyanGo Grant Award. First, click on Grants. Then, under Maintain Grants, select Manage Grants. Once you have opened it, open the desired one. In this case, I will open the one sponsored by Steve Davis. Once you are on the page, it will show you who the sponsor is, the grant status, as well as the principal investigator. PyanGo leverages NetSuite's built-in workflow tool to manage the lifecycle of a grant. Some organizations require grants to be internally approved prior to formal application. Workflow will provide tracking and notifications of all grants in the approval pipeline. When editing a grant award, it will open this page, and you can look at milestones in more detail. Most grants have several milestones through their life. These can be audit or deadline-based. The grants manager can assign milestones as needed to any grant. In addition, you can assign tasks to individuals in the organization related to the grant. This is another area where you will see standard NetSuite features implemented by PyanGo. Both tasks and calls are built-in pages that are then linked to the grant award. Grant revenue may be received in several tranches or releases. You can project what amounts that are expected to be received and then link these to actual payments. In some cases, you may want to set up an umbrella grant that consists of several actual grants, with each one linked to different sponsors. This relationship is established via the parent grant link, which is located over here. Lastly, you may fund others with the grant revenue you have received. Grantees can be designated for a grant. These are set up as vendors within NetSuite, so you can make payments directly to the grantee. Most grants require a set of terms and conditions that must be met in order to receive funding. PyanGo provides the ability to create term templates and then reuse these for multiple grants. For example, minority involvement can be specified for projects related to a grant, so the resources that are assigned to a project must exceed a certain threshold. The threshold can either be percentage or quantity-based. PyanGo provides great flexibility in managing projects and grants. For example, this Save the Whale grant can fund 4 separate projects. Each project received 25% funding or $50,000 out of the total $200,000. Here's an example of one of the projects. In order to look into the project details, go into Lists, Relationships, and then Projects. These are standard NetSuite projects, so if you would like more information or details on how to use it, please contact your NetSuite representative. In this example, we will be using project number 3, Save the Whale Indian Ocean. In order to look at grant allocation, click on the Grant Allocation tab. From the project perspective, a project can be funded by multiple grants. In this case, the Indian Ocean grant is funded 75% by the Save the Whale grant and 25% by a supplemental research grant. These percentages will be used to track expenses against a grant. There is also an option to rank or organize the projects in a first-in, first-out funding model. This will allow the primary grant to be exhausted prior to utilizing a supplemental grant. If you would like to access the first-in, first-out funding model feature, select Setup, and in Company, click General Preferences. Once there, scroll down and click on the Custom Preferences tab. Then select the Grants Allocation to Project by Priority tab. When PyanGo Budgetary Control is installed, you can allocate budgets to a specific budget. This will indicate what type of expenditures are allowed for a budget. It is fairly common as part of the grant terms to require the organization to share costs related to the grant and project. The percentage of cost sharing can be specified at both the project and task level. This will enable the cost sharing to be directly applied to an invoice sent to the sponsor. Now that we've been able to see how a project can be related to a grant award, let's review the other relationships to transactions within NetSuite. PyanGo provides a 360-degree view of all grant-related revenue and expenses. The principal investigator can quickly review all expenses related to the grant under the Grant Expense Detail tab. This is done through the link between transactions, projects, and grants. For example, the vendor invoice for $400 impacts the grant for $300 due to the 75% allocation percentage on the project definition. The Grants Manager can also view all related revenue for the grant. This can be in the form of donations, pledges, invoices, and receivables. If you would like to look at an invoice in more detail, click on Billing Details and select the preferred invoice. Once opened, it will give you all the information needed. In some situations, organizations must invoice the grant sponsor directly in order to receive funds. NetSuite has the ability to track billable expenses and time to be sent to a sponsor. PyanGo's direct cost-sharing feature enables organizations to share the cost of a project with the sponsor. If you remember, we had a project task that had a billable time component with a 20% cost share. We can now see that the invoice to the sponsor is discounted by that 20%. In order to create an FFR report, click on Generate Federal Financial Report at the top. Most organizations are required to submit this report as part of their nonprofit filing status. The FFR report comes pre-populated with data from each grant. If you would like more information on inquiries, go on the Grants tab, Inquiries, and select Principal Investigator Revenue Chart. Leveraging NetSuite's saved search capability, your executive team can quickly see the amount of revenue per principal investigator. If you would like, you could also look at grant counts by status. Thank you for watching PyanGo's Grants Management video. If you have any more questions, feel free to contact us.